And if the report is no more needed, you go to stage 6 and you retire and archive the content. So the question is now, how will you handle this cycle in a way that people can track what's going on? I'm using Azure Repos and Azure DevOps because for me, this is really enough. The next thing I will show you is before you can do any version control, you have to save your Power BI file as a PBIP. The PBIP or Power BI desktop project files. So welcome back to Power BI Vibes, and today I want to talk with you about version control. Some weeks ago I had been at the SQL conference in Hanau, and a colleague of mine was asking me, Jasmine, how are you handling version control? And the honest answer is not always as precise as I could do it. But what I took away from this conversation is that it would be worth a shot telling you what you could do and what you need and how it could work. So the first thing I want to show you is the Microsoft page with the development circle of Power BI reports. So here we are in Microsoft Learn, and in Microsoft Learn you can find information about Power BI implementation planning, so content lifecycle management. And if you scroll down here a little bit, you can already see here the Power BI content lifecycle. And it starts here. Here you plan and design your content, and then in stage 2 you develop content and manage changes. Then you're going to stage 3 and validate it, and then you deploy the content so you make it available for others. From deploying, maybe you can go back here on deploy content and manage changes, and then you also have to validate again, and then you will deploy the content again. If the content is online, it will be supported and monitored. If there are some complaints or some changes, you will go to plan and design again, then to deploy the content and manage the changes, and then you will end up here again. And if the report is no more needed, you go to stage 6 and you retire and archive the content. So the question is now, how will you handle this cycle in a way that people can track what's going on? If you scroll down a little bit, there is also some suggestion from Microsoft. And they're splitting it up in a simple way and in an advanced way. The simple way is a self-service way, and the advanced way is an enterprise way. So if you are working with only yourself, you can plan and design content and develop content and manage changes in Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, and SharePoint. Because on SharePoint, if you save the PBIP, you will also have some version control. We will talk later what the PBIP is all about, but you need a PBIP for the version control. With the PBIX, it won't work out. Then you can validate the content with manual testing, deploy content with the deployment pipeline, and you can support monitor content also with Power BI admin monitoring workspaces. And you can retire and archive content again on OneDrive or on SharePoint. So this would be your self-service way. And in an enterprise, you would do this a little bit different. You could use Azure DevOps to collaborate in projects. You could use Azure Repos to store things and to track changes. Then you can make an Azure test plan and define how the thing should be tested. Then you can use Azure pipelines to deploy the content. And I think Azure Log Analytics for customized monitoring, but I do not use Azure Log Analytics or Azure Pipelines. I'm only using Azure Repos and Azure DevOps because for me, this is really enough. And I think this is worth a look. And if you look here, you can find out what you're using now and what you could do about it. The next thing I will show you is before you can do any version control, you have to save your Power BI file as a PBIP. the PBIP or Power BI Desktop project files, and they are still in preview, so you have to enable them in the preview feature in Power BI. I will show you that later. And if we scroll down here a little bit, you can see the structure of these files. So by saving your report, you will select PBIP, and then you will get folders and text files with the structure of the report file, the semantic model, a git ignore, and the PBIP. And the great thing is, in these files, there is only text and JSON. So these files are super readable also for AI. And what you will also get is a README file. So like I said, you will get a project folder with the semantic model and one for the report, and you will get a git ignore. The git ignore is important because in the git ignore, there will be defined which files will be ignored if you put it into a repository later. And this is important because you do not want to spam your repository with files you do not need. The git ignore is created by Power BI itself when you save it into PBIP. We will have a look at them, and so you don't have to care about that. But maybe you want to add some file types in it to make your GitHub or your repo you're using just cleaner. And now we will have a look how you get to PBIP. So here we are in the usual PBIX, and the first thing you have to go to Files, Option, and Settings, Options. And in the option in the preview features, you have to make sure that the Power BI PBIP save options is turned on. Then you can click on OK, and you have to restart if it is not turned on by default in your Power BI. The next thing we will do is we will go to the file, save as, browse this device. This is the folder where I want to store it. And then here I will switch to PBIP, and I will just click on save. And if we have a look at that folder now where I have saved that file, you can see here the PBIP file and also still the PBIX, but we can't use the PBIX because it's a binary file, and saving the binary file would be not as useful as saving the PBIP, and it's much bigger than the PBIP. Then here you have the report file. In the report file, you can find some definitions, bookmarks, pages, and the report JSON, and something about the version. And in the semantic model, you can find the text queries, the definitions, and the TMDL scripts. So I think this is really worth a look because you can find out what's in this file and how to use it. And as I said before, it's also better usable for AI than the PV. And now I will show you how it goes on if you're using Azure DevOps, because I decided to use Azure DevOps. In Azure DevOps, you need to create the organization. So if you click on organizations and view organizations and you do not have any organization, you first have to create one. As I have an organization, I can just click on the organization, and in the organization, you will find some projects. And here I will go to Power BI Vibes. This is a project I created for my YouTube videos. And in this Power BI Vibes, you can do the same you used from GitHub. You can create a repository. And the first repository we will use is the YouTube video version control, because this is the YouTube video I'm working on now, and I will click on create. And then you can see that there was a README created, and I can also edit this README later. But the first thing I want to do now is I want to clone this repository on my local PC, because I know that I want to save my files locally later and that I want to push them from my laptop then later into GitHub. To clone Azure DevOps, I go back to the repo I'm working in. I make a right click and I go on more options, and then I open in Git Bash. And in Git Bash, then I get this window and I type in git clone. And then I copy over the SS, go to paste and return. And now it has been cloning that. And what you can see now is that I got this folder here. And in this folder, you can also see the README you had on the Azure DevOps. And what I will do now, I will close the PBIP and save it. Then I will copy my files into the folder with the README. And here is the great thing now what you can do. You can right click in again, go to more options, use the git bash here. And now I can say, instead of clone, git add and a dot. And now you can see that my files have been prepared for committing. So I am saying Git, or I'm saying Azure DevOps with Git now, this is something I want to save. And now it has prepared the files. And the next thing I can do is I can say Git commit. So I'm now telling him really save it, go on and add -m. Then I can add a command and I can say initial files from the 10th of April 2026. This is the command it will use, and then I can click on return, and then I can say git push, and it will push them up to Azure DevOps, which means if we refresh, we will see these files here. So you can see the git ignore, you can see the PBIP, and you can see the README and the report file and the semantic model. And the great thing now is if I want to change something, I will just reopen that file. I can show you that. Then I can, let's say, delete these pages because we do not need them. Then I can save that again. It's still a PBIP. I will save that. And then I will go back with the right click, more options, open the git bash again, and I will say again git add. So I'm telling him, please prepare that for committing. Then I can use git status to track my changes or to find out what I have changed. And then you can see here already that I have been deleting some pages. So he knows exactly what I've been changing. And then I can say again git commit -m and the comment page 4 and page 3, I think, deleted. And then I can say again git push. And if you go back to Azure DevOps now, you can see that the changes have been restored. And you can also go to the history and you see what I've been changing. So I hope I could show you a way how you could manage your version control by using Azure DevOps and the PBIP file in Power BI. I really like that a lot because especially when customers are very complicated or I have to do a lot of changes, I know that I will lose control. And by using Azure DevOps, I can immediately see what I have changed. So the secret here is also committing in reasonable intervals. So if you make a major change, just save the file and push it to Azure DevOps, add a comment, and oh, in this version, I have changed this and that. And you can also go back later to that file if you need it again. So if you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up, and I wish you a great day now.